Hey guys, it's Mr. Markman with Unlimited Possibilities Martial Arts. I wanted to come to you today with a little video on how to proper condition your body when you're doing strikes. It's very important to be able to strike and hit the surface, and in case you actually have to use it and hit somebody, make sure that you have proper, like, the ability to strike and not hurt yourself, right? So the conditioning of this is very, very important. This is something that I feel sometimes is left out, that people don't think about. Okay, so got Mr. Starr come in here. One of the most important things, or the main thing is what I should say, that you want to do is, first of all, you got to learn how to strike properly, right? Okay, so for me, alignment, when I think about conditioning, starts with proper technique first, and then after that, you start actually conditioning the body physically, right? Okay, so when you hit, besides the fact that you have to condition the mind first before really you condition anything, but so when you're striking, especially when we're talking about like a punch, but even like if we're doing a kick, right? So proper technique, we all know that you want to do that first. Well, those of you that know, we want to, if we're doing a front kick, we want to chamber, kick, and re-chamber like that, right? We want to hit on the correct striking surface. We also want to align our foot, right? So if I'm throwing a front kick on him, if I'm doing the ball of the foot, I want that ball aligned with the center of the body, lined up with the in alignment. Let me show you this way. So I don't want that foot, let's see if I can get it to where, I don't want my foot, actually, yeah, that's good. That's good. I got my turn angle just in here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I don't want my foot lying this way or this way, right? I want my heel or the ball of my foot pressed in, and that bone, all of this aligned. That's the first, that's very important, because your bone structure being lined up is how you can transfer the most amount of power into the whatever it is that you're hitting, right? Okay, so that's first. Second, I need to do exercises to strengthen my ankle, right? So the ball of my foot, actually, I don't know if you guys can see that. So the ball of my foot, there's exercises that you can do to help strengthen the ankle and the muscles around it that go around the ankle and that support it, and ligaments that support it. So one of them is to put your leg flat on the surface, and you can do this on the ground too. You don't have to do this high, okay? So you can do it lower, like if he bends down. So this is, yeah, that's perfect. So one of the ways you can do that is actually kneel down a little bit so that you can move back. Yeah. And actually you can scoot away from it so that I can move it. So you want pressure on the, and you can actually do this on a wall, but you'd be pushing yourself back. So go ahead and lean back against it so I can show them. Because just in case you're wanting to do this by yourself, you don't have a handy person to help you do this, right? So you can actually do this on the wall where you put your foot flat here and you try to push yourself. You see what I'm doing? I'm pushing the ball part of my foot in and extending that, tightening my leg, my calf, all of that, and I'm aligning this ankle with the ball of my foot. I don't want it to go sideways. Okay, you guys probably can't see that. This way. Hold it up a little bit so I can show them. Yeah, like right there, perfect. Okay, so if I'm kicking into something here, when I start here and I try to push myself back, I put the whole foot, put the ball of my foot in the target area, and I'm going to go push back like so, okay? Normally you would do this upright, but I'm doing this so that the camera can see it. You wouldn't do this low, you do it the way I did it earlier. But you come here and you push in, okay? And then you want to align with your ankle. You don't want to go this way and you don't want to go that way, but you want it to be all in one straight line, angled with the ball of your foot, pushing that in, just like so, okay? So the alignment of your strike is very, very important when you're kicking. So that would be the first, like, one exercise you can do. There's other exercises you can do on the ground, which is just pretty simple, but it's you're standing here, and you push the ball of your foot into the ground like that and come up on the ball of your foot. Bring your heels off the ground. So you're going like this. That's another way that you can strengthen that ankle and really get alignment as you're learning how to do that. And then obviously the next way to start helping to condition is kick something, okay? So start off medium speed, medium kick. That's not even medium, but okay, that's kind of medium, okay? And kicking just like that, and then progressively strike harder and really tighten, flex that ankle and strike like that, and just go harder and harder and harder and start really kicking. So that's one way. And then as far as kicking, okay, with a front kick, if you're going to flex your ankle and strike with the ball of your foot. If we're talking about punches, this is the one that most people need to do, actually, more than anything. So let's slide over here. Okay, so first of all, on a punch, what most people think is a straight punch is this, and this is not a straight punch, okay? But some people think, okay, when they punch, this is straight. But this kind of punch is actually going to end up hitting the target with your knuckles, okay? You may or may not see it, but the knuckles hit first. What you must do is get this bone, okay, your two bones in your arm, your radius and your ulna bones. You want to get both of those. You want to get your hand in line with both of those, okay? So you want to line up just like so, and I say these two knuckles, you want to line those up also. So this is really, your punch should be like this. So here, this alignment. It almost looks like I'm punching down, but I'm not. I'm aligning this straight across with my bones. Okay, does that make sense? So that this hits instead of this hitting. Okay, so that's the first thing. So when you're striking, you want to make sure you have that alignment so that when you hit something, you're hitting it here and not here. Most people hit like this when they're punching pads. This is their hit. That's incorrect. This is correct. Like that, okay? The second thing is the conditioning of your wrist, okay? You've got to condition your wrist before you actually start striking something like that hard, okay? You can strike it soft with unconditioned wrists because it's a pad, especially if you have gloves on, right? But when you start hitting hard, like that, your wrists must be conditioned, okay? Otherwise, boom, you're gonna do this or that because they're gonna be too weak to take the pressure that's coming into them, right? One way that you can do that is actually to practice what we call knuckle push-ups. That's one way you can condition your wrists. You can also condition your wrists by leaning against the wall and doing push-ups this way with your knuckles, keeping everything lined up, okay? That's a little bit easier than doing knuckle push-ups on the ground because obviously you don't have that much weight going into your hands. Another thing that's important is like we said, is the alignment of the punch. As it comes out, that alignment is very important. So when you punch, let me do it this way. So as I punch, I keep everything close and punch here. This is obviously also very important for power on the punch, okay? But if you come out at all, it creates, especially with the hard punch, your body is not as protected out here from the jarring of a strike, a hard strike. If you're doing a light strike, it doesn't matter really that much. But if you're doing a hard strike, like if you try to punch as hard as you can and your arm is out of alignment, you're gonna feel jarring, not just in the joints, mainly in the joints, but you're also gonna feel it a little bit in your bones too if you do it wrong, okay? And depending on your bone structure and how old you are. So from here, you want to make sure that elbow stays down and close. You guys see how I do that? If I bring my arm out like this, so if my arm comes out like this, I start to create, because once I connect here, the power is going around into my shoulder the wrong way. So it's going right into my shoulder and it's going the wrong way. So there's all kinds of things that are problems that arise from that. So what you want to do is keep that close. So even when you're punching here, you want to keep the elbow down, keep everything in alignment here. And that makes your punch very powerful here instead of going here. Does that make sense? Okay, instead of opening up, you keep everything really close. Very important for punching hard when you're striking it at anything. Same thing with kicks. You keep everything close to the body, align and come out. Of course, if you're doing a hook punch or a circular punch, that's a little bit different. But you still, like if I'm doing a hook punch, I still keep my elbow down because that protects my shoulder. The further up my elbow goes, the more unprotected my shoulder is, okay? Unless I move my body, right? Then it's the same thing from here to here, okay? But other than that, it's important to keep that elbow as close to the body as possible, especially when you're doing straight punches. But when you do a hook punch, it's the same thing. You want to keep it down and not up, okay? So anyway, so that's some basic kind of, we went a little bit in depth. I didn't actually expect to go that far in depth, but so that's basically what I wanted to bring to you guys today for conditioning the body and striking hard, okay? When you're learning how to hit hard on either a pad, also the next level of conditioning is actually striking something harder each time. So what I mean by that is a harder surface, not just hitting harder, but striking a harder surface each time. So you get something with a lot of pad, you get to where you can hit that really hard, then less padding. Then you hit that, get to where you hit that really hard, then less padding. Then you hit that, get to where you hit that really hard, then pretty much no padding. Does that make sense? So to do that, that will help with your punches, help with your strikes, and you will have very effective striking techniques that you can use and mechanisms you can use. All right, so that's the video for today. We'll see you guys on the next video.